Hi, and welcome to this week's edition of the People Progressing Podcast. I'm Joe White, and I wanted to talk about a few things today. We kind of a shorter podcast for this week, but we're still going to progress as we go through this, and you're going to progress as a person, and we're all going to grow. The first thing I want to talk about is a saying that I've said to my players and to my kids that I've coached for a long, long time. And that saying has to do with the words fear, regret. I always wanted my players to fear regret. The only fear that I ever wanted them to have was regret. I, I didn't want them to fear playing a game. I didn't want them to fear striking out. I didn't want them to fear throwing a strike or having a home run hit off them or anything like that. Those things are always going to happen. And fear is a natural emotion that we all have. It's an emotion that is always going to be with us from now until the day we die. And that's just the way it is. The key to fear is how to overcome fear. And overcoming fear is you outwork it. You outwork the fear. And that's how you become a better person in critical situations where you can come through when your best is needed, you can give your best. And that's what we're trying to do here. But I always wanted our players to fear regret. I never wanted my players to look back at 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, even 30, 40 years from when they played and thought, if I would have just worked harder, I could have been a better player. If I would have just worked harder, I might have been able to play in college. If I would have just worked harder, I might have been able to get drafted in pro baseball, whatever it might have been. I never wanted them to look back and think, what if? And I think that's where a lot of people in their life are lost, because I think a lot of people in their lives have a lot of what ifs, or they have a lot of regret in their life. And my purpose in doing what I'm doing now is to try to help you overcome that, and hopefully in some way, somehow, get you to not have regret later on in life. Now, regret is probably going to be in all of us in some shape or form, because we've all done something that we probably haven't really liked, or think we maybe could have done better, or worked harder, or tried harder, or whatever. And that's kind of part of life, and that's the way life goes. But I also want to steer you in a direction where hopefully we can get regret out of your life, and we can move on, and we can live a more peaceful living. And what does that mean? Well, fear regret means that I'm going to give everything I possibly can to every single process that I'm involved with, whatever that might be. I'm not going to cheat the system. I'm not going to cheat the process. And that kind of goes to my second saying. And that second saying is called win the process. So fear, regret, and win the process, they kind of go hand in hand here. What do they both mean? They both mean that whenever we set goals, which I all want you to do, I always want you to set goals and look for something, because goals give us hope, direction, and the goals give us purpose in life. Okay. But we're not always going to achieve every goal that we set out to accomplish. It's just not going to happen. But what I want you to do is I want you to win the process of trying to achieve every goal that you always set in life. What does that mean? Well, whenever I set a goal, there's got to be a way or a process that I can put in place that I know if I win that process, or if I do everything within that process, it gives me the best chance of achieving my goal, whatever that might be. So for example, when I was in college, when I first went to college, I had two goals. The first goal was I was going to try to graduate in 4 years. And the second goal was I was going to try to get drafted by a Major League Baseball team. I was a baseball player. I was a pitcher. So I had to set a process in order for me to win those goals. And the first thing in my process is I never wanted to look back after it was all over and have regret. That's where the fear regret comes in. And that's how I got to set my process. What does that mean? It means, here we go. If I'm going to set a process to get drafted by a Major League Baseball team, then I need to do everything in my power to make that goal a reality, to make that goal happen. So if our coach, my pitching coach, had us run 20 sprints, I'm going to run 20 sprints or more. Okay, I call it plus. I learned this from Urban Meyer and I really like it. It's called +1 or +2 or +3, whatever you want to do. So if you have to do 20 sprints, okay, I'm going to do 20 plus 1, or I'm going to do 20 plus 2, or however you want to set your process there. But I'm not going to do 18 and cheat the process. If our coach made us run long distance, so sometimes he made us run what he called the course, which was anywhere from 3 to 5 to 7 miles. And I wasn't a great long distance runner. But if I was going to win the process of achieving my goal so I could have no regret at the end, I had to run those 5 to 7 miles. And was it hard for me? Yeah, it was. But you know what would have been harder for me? Having regret at the end. If I would have run 3 miles on a 5-mile course, walked some of the middle part of it when no one would have seen me because we were out on a course, no one would have seen me. I would have cheated the process and walked part of the miles. That's cheating the process. And I didn't want to do that because I knew if I got drafted or I didn't get drafted, I was not going to cheat the process. I was not going to look in the mirror and have regret when it was all done. So I ran the 5 to 7 miles. I wasn't the fastest. I didn't come in first all the time, but I never cheated the process. So I always want you to get that into your head that whatever goals you set for yourself, don't cheat the process. And it's more important to win the process of achieving your goals than it is to cheat the process of achieving your goals. Because even if you achieve the goals, but you cheated the process to get there, you're probably still going to have regret. But if you win the process, you do everything in your power, +1, +2, +3, whatever it is you want to put on there. If you achieve that and you win that process, whether you win the goal or don't win the goal, you're going to be okay. You're not going to have regret. You can move on. You can know that you did everything you possibly can. John Wooden always said it. He never talked about winning at all. John Wooden never talked to his players about winning. He always talked about doing the little things perfect and winning the process and getting better every day. That's what all we're asking you to do, because if you can do that, you can look yourself in the mirror, have a good feeling inside that you did everything you possibly could. Now, do we want to achieve every goal that we set? Yeah, that's why we set goals, right? I mean, if I didn't achieve, I got drafted. I was lucky. I achieved the goal. I achieved my goal. I got drafted my junior year by the Cincinnati Reds, and I got drafted my senior year by the Seattle Mariners. But I didn't cheat the process of getting to there. So I wasn't lucky. I won the process. Okay, but if I wouldn't have won that goal, then I need to set more goals. I need to get to the next level. I need to keep going. A lot of people, when they set a goal and they don't achieve that goal, they're afraid to set more goals. Okay, and that's part of the process as well. Okay, because when you don't achieve your goal, please do not allow that to beat you. Please not allow that to want you to strive for more, to grow more, to proceed more, to progress more, to get better from not achieving the goal. That's what it's about. And once you don't achieve a goal, or if you do achieve a goal, let's get on to the next goal. Let's keep having that direction in your life, that purpose in your life. That's what goals give us. So don't let not achieving a goal set you back so far that you're afraid to set another goal. Okay, and then to go for that process and win that process of achieving that next goal. That's what life is about. And I'm here to tell you that you are going to fail in achieving some of your goals. I've done it. Everyone's done it. Okay, we go back. I know the greatest story of all time is Michael Jordan not making his varsity team when he was a sophomore or junior. I can't remember which one it was. If he would have let that affect him and made him not want to go for any more goals, where would he be right now? Where would we be without his influence and his inspiration on how he played the game of basketball and how hard he worked to be the best he could possibly be at all times? And how about that as being a goal? How about setting the goal as being the best you possibly can be at everything you do? How about that goal? And you can win that process every single time, whether it's a test you're taking, whether it's in the business world. If you set a goal to set a goal to make so many sales or whatever it might be, how about you set the goal of being the best you possibly can be, and then set the process. How are you going to achieve that? What are you going to do to achieve that goal? Okay, that's the process. And that's what I want you all to understand. Okay, so I want you to think of two things: fear, regret. Okay, and what I mean by that again is this: when we're born and you're come out and you're all crying and everything else, I know this kind of sounds crazy, but you're all upset and everything else until what? Until they put you in your mother's arms. As soon as they put you in your mother's arms, what happens? You have a complete, total peace of mind, right? My goal and what I'm doing now in my charge right now, what I'm trying to do in my life, my goal is to every single person that listens to me talk or listens to a podcast or reads my book or whatever it might be, that when it's time and it's time for us to move on, pass away, what that means is I want you to have a total peace of mind when you pass away. Because I believe you have a peace of mind when you're born, and I want you to have a peace of mind when it's time to go. How do we achieve that? You fear regret. How do you fear regret? By achieving and winning the process. Okay, in everything that you do. You be the best you could possibly be at everything you do and enjoy life. Because I always know this, okay? When I can look myself in the mirror and know that I didn't cheat the system, I didn't cheat my process, I gave everything I possibly could to be the best I could be at whatever I was trying to do, I could look myself in the mirror and feel good about it and achieve a peace of mind. Achieve a peace of mind. And that's what we're all striving for. And that's what I'm striving for you. And if there's any way that I can help you, I'm here for you. Because what we want to try to do as we go through life is we want to try to use the gifts that God has given us to help and serve others. That's another way that you achieve peace of mind. So as we move on here and I move on from this week's edition of the People Progressing podcast, I just wanted to say I have now made some shirts that have hashtag fear regret on them. I've also made some shirts that say hashtag win the process. I've had some hats made that says hashtag fear regret. I've had some shirts that have been made that say hashtag win the process. And now you actually know what those shirts mean. And what I want you to do is win the process on a daily basis. And what I want you to do is fear regret. You're going to have fear in all sorts of things in your life. That's okay. Learn how to overcome it. Learn how to outwork fear. The only fear that I want you to really have, and the only fear that I want you to really make you really get to a process of winning is the fear of regret. Okay. So as we move on from this week, and next week we'll have another great guest on and everything else, I just wanted to say those couple things because it's important to me that people have a peace of mind. And I think you achieve a peace of mind by having no regrets. And I think you have a peace of mind by winning the process on a daily basis. So thanks for listening. Have a great day. Again, if you want to get a hold of me, you can get a hold of me through my website, CoachJoeWhiteConsulting.com. You can get a hold of me through CoachJoeWhite97@gmail.com. And I'd love to hear from you. If you have anything to say or need anything and need me to come speak to your group or anything like that, we'd love to be able to do that. And I just hope you have a great day. Fear regret and win the process. Have a great day.